heart indeed. Forget the black heart. Let's think of the black bits now. In Welsh delicacies, let me tell you. They'd be currants and sultanas, they'd be. Let me put it into context, though. Americans are known far and wide for propelling muffins and bagels and waffles and pancakes into our eating habit psyche. But one woman is on a mission to champion a Welsh favourite now on the other side of the pond, Denise Carbone, who was born and raised in Wales, now runs a bakery in California, and word is spreading of a homeland delicacy, and it's spreading like hotcakes, or I should say Welsh cakes to be precise, and she joins me now. Denise, good morning to you over there. You're very welcome.
Good morning, Roy.
Yeah, what time is it with you, by the way?
It's just gone 7:30 in the morning.
And you've been up already working, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, we get up usually around 5.
5? How many pounds of dough have you done already?
We're about to go in after this, and we'll be making £1,000 today.
£1,000. And you're still working on the old imperial measurements over there, aren't you? Pounds, not kilos or whatever.
Oh, yes. I gave that up as soon as I came over here.
Where do you live in California, by the way?
We live in a place called Santa Clarita, which is about 30 miles north of L.A. City.
All right. So L.A. City spreads a fair while, though, isn't it, really?
Yeah. I mean, you can be in the car for an hour and you're still in L.A.
Yeah, exactly. Was it originally an agricultural town?
Yes, it was agricultural, a lot of orange groves.
Yes.
And obviously citrus, all kinds of citrus here.
Yeah,
avocados.
Quite. Yeah, I heard a rumour that it did have some gold rush activity, didn't it?
Yes, that's actually our hometown, Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
There's old local lore that this was actually the first place that they did find gold.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Gosh, and not far away from Hollywood then. So when did you settle out there?
I came out here in 1988,
yes.
Originally to be a nurse.
Ah, so that was the temptation.
Yes, I wanted to find some sunshine.
Where are you from in Wales, Denise?
I'm actually from Llantwit Major.
Llantwit Major. Is there an Usk connection at all?
A what, sorry?
An Usk connection, yeah.
I was born in Usk.
Ah, born in Usk, but you say that you were from Llantwit Major.
Yes, I have no memory of Usk. I was just a baby when I was there.
Oh, I have many memories of Llantwit Major myself. I taught down there as a teacher for a while.
I had heard that. My mother saw you a few times and says, oh, don't forget, he used to be a teacher here.
Yeah, well, I hope I wasn't roaming home from a pub very late or anything like that. Now, you own your own business called the Welsh Baker, and it's exclusively Welsh products. So you sell a mixture of Welsh goods, do you?
No, actually, I only do Welsh cakes.
You only do Welsh cakes? Oh, just full stop. Full stop.
Full stop, that's it.
Oh, marvellous. So what made you decide then to turn your hand to this kind of thing from nursing?
I had given up nursing when I had my first child.
Right.
And was a full-time mom.
Right.
And then my husband, Joe, who's actually on the line with us here.
Hello.
Hello, Joe. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, good to talk. Where are you from, Joe?
I was born in New York and transplanted in California here, Southern California, not far from where we live now, about 40-something years ago.
I see. You sound 100% American, but I bet you got forebears now from this neck of the woods somewhere.
Italian-Irish.
Italian-Irish. Oh, you got a handful there, Denise.
I
know. So you've been turning this now, what, just doing a family production of Welsh cakes, and a thought hit you that it could be a business?
Yes, they actually were first tasted by Joe when my mother came here on holiday after the birth of my son, which was about 16 years ago.
Right.
She came with her longtime companion, Bill, who unfortunately has since passed on.
Yes. And
he made us a batch of Welsh cakes. And Joe tasted them for the first time, fell in love with them.
God.
And that kind of reawakened them for me. I had them in my childhood.
Yes.
But as is, when you leave home as a young adult, you forget all these things until you have your family of your own.
Mm.
And so after that, I started making them occasionally, especially at family get-togethers. I'd get together with this large Irish Italian family, and they were all wonderful cooks.
Mm.
So I was like, what can I do to impress them? So I made the Welsh cakes, and everyone loved them at the first taste. And after that, everyone kept saying, this is something you could turn into a business.
Wow.
It really is. And that seed was planted, and after my children were much older and, they didn't need me around for long periods of time in the day when they're in school, We knew Joe was going to be laid off from his job at Warner Brothers, and we'd been thinking of something we could do together as a couple in a business, because I guess we're one of those rare things that can actually work together well as in a business. And we thought of Welsh cakes.
God. Do you do them, in Welsh they call picar a man, which means, cakes on a griddle.
Right.
Do you do them in that kind of way?
We do, but we use an electric griddle.
Oh, I see, right. So when was the big launch then?
When was it, Joe? It was about 3 years ago?
Well, we spent the first 6 months or so just trying to figure out how to make them in any large numbers. The first day we went in the kitchen was very sobering. We spent about 8 hours in there and came out with about 12 saleable cakes. And I said, unless somebody will pay us about $100 a cake, I don't know that we're going to make any money at this.
Yeah.
But we were just sort of dedicated to it, I guess because we couldn't think of anything else to do. And it just, nobody else was doing it. It was a great challenge, and it used a lot of our special skills. And I said, let's just keep trying. I'm sure it'll get better. But it took us several months before we actually figured out how to make them consistently and in large quantities.
Right.
But we sold our first one in April of 2010, about a good 5 months after we began.
Right. And it's gone from there.
Yeah, it hasn't stopped.
Yeah. Well, Denise, I'm not going to ask you for the recipe now because everyone does his own. But do you do the normal sort of ones? I mentioned sultanas and currants at the beginning. You're not overly fussy with them, are you? Just do the traditional Welsh cake?
Actually, I don't. I do lots. I know people would be horrified what I do. I do make traditional.
Yes.
I use currants. But I actually played with the recipe a little. One of our early visions, before you know what you're doing, was we thought they would be wonderful to have in the local schools here as a healthy alternative natural treat. And there's strict dietary rules for going into schools, and it had to be below 30% of the calories from fat. And so I use butter in my recipe, and so we took out some of the butter and replaced it with unsweetened applesauce and just played around with different ingredients to meet the dietary restrictions without altering the flavor.
All right.
But then also it would be very difficult to just sell, 1 or 2 flavors of cakes either with or without a currant.
Not quite.
So then it rebounded from there actually with my kids to get them more curiosity with unusual foods. One day I thought, well, why not put chocolate chips in them? They eat chocolate chip biscuits. Let's put chocolate chips in these, and they love those.
Yeah.
Until after that, I kind of thought anything you did to a scone, you could do to a Welsh cake.
Wow. So am I right in thinking now that the popularity is growing to such an extent that you're thinking about taking them out into the country now, into the state and then beyond?
We do orders online, so we sell throughout the northern U.S., and we even get orders from Hawaii and Alaska.
God grief. So, if this is spreading now, you must be thinking in the quiet of an evening, over a quiet little wine together, now you're thinking, now what's going to be next now, beyond the Welsh cake? Is it going to be Bara Brith, the next Welsh one?
We have actually thought of that one, and one that's very often asked of me. We sell these a lot. We go to different Celtic events throughout actually the western states.
Yeah.
And there isn't much of a Welsh presence in there. They're usually mostly either Scottish or Irish.
Yeah.
And so we're like a beacon for anyone with any Welsh ancestry or who are Welsh themselves. They come straight to us. And surprisingly, they always ask me for pasties.
Pasties?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Not pies, pasties.
No, pasties.
Pasties, oh, that's
I have to admit, I mean, it's my own ignorance, I guess. I never thought of pasties as a Welsh thing. To me, I always grew up with Cornish pasties.
Yeah, there's
associated them with Cornwall.
Well, there's been a great battle down in Cornwall now because the Devon people are saying that the first Cornish pasty was actually a Devon one. So we're staying out of that one, but there are famous pies in Wales, of course, traditional as well. So Mitt Romney's wife has been here. She's got Welsh connections, you see.
Yes, I heard that one.
And she's been over to the village of Llangunwyd because her forebears came from there, and while she was there, she had a cup of tea and Welsh cakes.
Yeah, I've actually heard she makes her own when she's on the campaign trail. They have a large coach that they use very often, and she will very often have a batch of Welsh cakes that she will give to reporters.
All right, well, you better put a patent in your Welsh cakes now, otherwise she might sort of encroach upon your domain here. Oh, so now then, will major retailers now be jumping on board and sort of giving you orders?
I don't know. That's another springboard for us.
Yeah.
We were once approached by one large retail company. It's like a big warehouse store here, and we had actually just contacted them about purchasing ingredients. And they went to our website, and they offered us a chance to go and sample in their stores and possibly sell. But when they sent us the requirements for actually selling in that venue, we're just not quite big enough to do that yet.
Not yet. But one has hopes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you carry on, Joe. You're going to say something then.
I was just going to say one of the big challenges is that we're doing something here that's never been done here.
Yeah.
So there's nobody to turn to. There's no larger manufacturer that we could go learn from. No. We have to figure it out for ourselves, and so that's a great challenge. And growing to a large business from something like this it takes every ounce of energy. Selling something like pasties or whatever, it sounds great, but we spend every minute of our life just figuring out how to make Welsh cakes better.
Well, we wish you well with any kind of planning that you have for the future, indeed. And congratulations on your success so far.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, all the very best to you now then, Denise, and to Joe as well. And I hope the business goes from success to success. The great sort of stamp of credibility will become, of course, when you have an import order from Wales.
That's true. We have had inquiries, actually.
Well, that's it. There we go. We're down that road already. Lovely to talk to you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Yeah, and success to you. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there we are then. Denise Carbone and her husband Joe, and Joe's finished with his job at Warner Brothers now, and she's given up nursing, and they're turning out Welsh cakes, not only at a rate of knots, but at a rate of quality.